The flat tire on the country road. This story follows a family who experiences a flat tire while driving on a rural country road. The story describes their efforts to change the tire and the help they receive from a passing farmer. The Williams family was on a weekend getaway, driving through the picturesque countryside. They had planned a relaxing trip to a quaint bed and breakfast nestled in the rolling hills. The drive was scenic, with fields of golden wheat and picturesque farms lining the road. Their car, a reliable SUV, was packed with snacks, a cooler, and all the necessities for a peaceful retreat. As they drove along a quiet country road, the peaceful drive was suddenly interrupted by a loud thump and a noticeable pull to one side. Mr. Williams, who was driving, pulled over to the side of the road, feeling a sense of unease. Mrs. Williams, sitting in the passenger seat, looked back to see their daughter, Emily, who was sitting quietly in the back seat. Mr. Williams got out of the car and checked the tires. It was clear that they had a flat. The rear left tire was completely deflated, and the car was leaning slightly to one side. They had hoped for a smooth journey, but now they faced the challenge of changing a flat tire in the middle of nowhere. Mrs. Williams took out the car's manual and reviewed the section on changing a tire. She found the instructions and the list of tools needed: a jack, a lug wrench, and a spare tire. Mr. Williams opened the trunk and found the spare tire and tools, but they realized they were missing one crucial item: a jack. They had only packed the essentials for their trip, but had not anticipated this situation. Feeling a bit overwhelmed, Mr. Williams tried to flag down passing cars, but the road was sparsely traveled, and no one seemed to be coming by. The family decided to wait and hope for the best. It was a warm day, and the sun was starting to set, casting a golden glow over the fields. Just as they were beginning to feel the weight of their predicament, a large tractor approached from a nearby farm. The driver, a friendly-looking farmer named Joe, slowed down as he saw the stranded car. He pulled over and got out of his tractor, taking a look at the situation. Joe approached Mr. Williams and offered his help. He had noticed that the family was in need and, being a kind-hearted individual, he wanted to lend a hand. Joe introduced himself and explained that he had a jack in his tractor, which he could use to help change the tire. Mr. Williams gratefully accepted the offer, and Joe went to retrieve the jack from his tractor. With Joe's assistance, they were able to lift the car and remove the flat tire. Joe showed Mr. Williams how to properly install the spare tire, and together they worked efficiently to get the car back on the road. As they finished up, Joe offered some helpful advice about maintaining tire pressure and checking for wear and tear. He also provided directions to the nearest service station where they could have their flat tire repaired. The Williams family thanked Joe for his generosity and waved as he drove off in his tractor. With the spare tire in place, Mr. Williams carefully drove the family to the service station that Joe had recommended. They arrived safely and were able to have the flat tire repaired and the spare replaced with a new one. The service station staff were friendly and quick, and soon the car was ready for the rest of their journey. The Williams family continued their trip to the bed and breakfast, grateful for the unexpected help they had received. The experience had been a challenge, but it had also shown them the kindness of strangers and the importance of being prepared. They enjoyed the rest of their getaway, reflecting on the day's events with a sense of appreciation for the support they had received. As they settled into their cozy accommodations, they felt relieved and content. The flat tire had been an unwelcome surprise, but it had been handled with the help of a generous farmer and the support of their family. They went to bed with a renewed sense of gratitude and excitement for the days ahead.